If you've ever cried at something small and immediately wished you could stop, this explains what's actually happening. Not in a motivational way, not in a be stronger way, in a psychological way. Because crying easily is not the same as being weak. It's not the same as being unstable. And it doesn't mean you're broken. It means your emotional processing system works differently. Let's slow this down. Number 1. Your brain registers emotional meaning faster. Inside your brain is the amygdala. It detects significance, not just danger. Significance. Tone shifts. Subtle disappointment. Kindness. Connection. Loss. Most people experience a stronger emotional buffer. Events pass through filters before they fully register. For you, those filters may be lighter. That means emotional information arrives sooner, more directly, without as much softening. It's like two radios. One plays music quietly in the background, the other plays it clearly. You're hearing the clearer signal. That doesn't mean the music is too loud. It means your receiver is tuned differently. Research on sensory processing sensitivity shows that roughly 15 to 20% of people process emotional and sensory information more deeply. They notice details others miss, micro-expressions, tiny shifts in energy, meaning beneath words. More perception equals more internal activation, and sometimes that activation surfaces as tears. Number 2. Crying is regulation, not collapse. When emotional intensity rises, your nervous system activates the stress response. Heart rate changes, breathing shifts, muscles tighten. If that activation stays high, it feels overwhelming. Crying activates the parasympathetic system, the calming mechanism. It slows the body, releases pressure, regulates intensity. In simple terms, tears are biological recalibration. They help your system return to balance. It's not loss of control. It's completion of a stress cycle. Some people suppress emotion. Activation remains trapped. You release it. It looks visible, but it serves a function. Number 3. You're rarely crying about one small moment. When tears appear in response to something minor, it's usually layered. The brain is associative. It links present experiences with past emotional memories. A mild disappointment today can connect to years of feeling unseen. A kind comment today can connect to times you needed validation and didn't receive it. So the trigger isn't just the trigger, it unlocks deeper emotional data. Psychologists call this emotional accumulation. Small events release larger emotional builds. It's not fragility, it's processing. Number 4. Highly emotional people often process deeply. If you reflect a lot, if you replay conversations, if you search for meaning, your brain spends more time analyzing emotional information. Deeper analysis increases activation. More meaning equals stronger emotional response. That's why tears can appear during meaningful moments, not because you can't handle them, but because you fully experience them. Depth of processing is a feature, not a flaw. Number 5. Social discomfort doesn't mean you're wrong. Many people were taught that visible emotion equals weakness. So when you cry, it disrupts their expectations. They may react awkwardly or label you sensitive. This is a psychological defense, projection. Instead of addressing their discomfort, they shift it onto you. But emotional expression and emotional health are not opposites. Chronic suppression has been linked to higher stress and emotional strain. Expression, when safe and appropriate, supports regulation. You feel, you release, you move forward. Now, here's the important distinction. Crying easily is not automatically healthy. If emotions feel overwhelming, persistent, or paired with hopelessness, professional support can help. There is a difference between expression and dysregulation. But crying itself is not evidence of dysfunction. It is information, a signal, a release. Think of it like a pressure valve. Systems under pressure need ways to discharge. Tears are one mechanism. Number 6. Sensitivity can be a strength. People who notice emotional nuance often excel at empathy, understanding tone, reading situations, connecting with others. They experience life in high resolution. That depth can create vulnerability, but it can also create insight. The world benefits from people who feel, not just people who analyze. So the question isn't, why do I cry? The question is, what does this emotion represent? Is it stress, disappointment, connection, unresolved feelings? Tears are data. They tell a story. When you stop shaming them, you can start understanding them, and understanding changes everything. It shifts the narrative from weakness to awareness, from failure to regulation, from defect to difference. You are not too emotional. You are not broken. You process deeply. You notice more. You release instead of store. That is a neurological style, not a moral judgment. So the next time you cry unexpectedly, pause before criticizing yourself. Ask, what mattered to me in this moment? What did I feel? What does this tell me? Because emotion is information, and information, handled with curiosity, becomes growth, not shame, not judgment, just understanding.